streaming session. And if this is your first time of joining our live stream, this is UF Graphics. And in today's live stream, we're going to be talking on the matter of skills that matters after school. I don't know. The previous live session we had, we talked about life and environment. If I'm not mistaken, life, friends, and environment. Elaborate. We touched some topics like that has to do with the matter of student. And if you have time, you can check previous live streaming session. It was boom, like it was very very amazing. And we said a lot of things that student needs to know, and them knowing that can actually avoid them, like it can actually help them in making some unnecessary mistakes that they might happen to make maybe during future time or something like that. All right, so let's focus on what we have today, being skills that matters after school. Now, men, if you look at the word skill, okay, you know, if we're starting up, we're going to be kind of try to analyze everything serially. Skill that actually matters after school. Now, let's start first with skill. A simple definition of a skill can be just like or something that one can actually his or her and like something that one can create, something that one can do. It's just all about doing. Skill is just something. It's not skills is mainly for like something that one can do, and skill that matters. The skill that matter. Now, the skill that matters after school can be a kind of something that can really help you, or eventually if you happen to leave university, something that can really help you. That is why it matters. If it's not going to be helping you, the matter the where there matters is of no use. So it's a kind of something that has value. Do you get? So this skill in particular now is not something that is not really relevant. It's very very relevant and important. Okay, school skills that matters after school. That's live streaming of topic today. So if you're a student, I urge you to sit tight and pay very close attention to all I have to say here today, because after today's live stream session, you are going to be grabbing something and you're going to take me later. Alright, so under the skills that matters, okay, let me just say, let me just ask this question, or it can go to anybody. It's just like, if I may ask you now, do you know anybody that have actually the person graduated with a good grade, but you also seen the person suffering in life, like the person is still undergoing some circumstances that it now looks as if the school was a scam, or the school was not useful to the person. Do you get it now? Now, it's possible. Sorry, let me ask my question very well. Or like, have you seen, or do you think, okay, now let me just put it this way, do you think, or have you seen that do you think that it's possible that somebody can actually graduate with a good grade and still or end bad, let me just put it down, and still end bad? This my question is very very possible, because now most times you graduating with a good skill. I said something related to this in my last previous live streaming. That was yesterday. So you graduating with a good grade doesn't guarantee you uh sure success in life. That is just it. It doesn't, like, it's not giving you sure success. So that is why the matter of skills cannot be overemphasized. So if you're a student and you're under, okay, let me just say, if you're not thinking that the matter of skills is important and all of that, you should start changing that mindset, because it really matters. It really matters. Okay, so if you're you just graduate from a university and it happens that you were not opportune you were not opportune to start working, you were not opportune to find one big company like that, that is what the mindset that some people have. To be like, once I'm out from school, I'm going to work in a very big company like that, and they are going to be paying me millions and all of that. Most times it doesn't work that way. Most times things can change. So that is why having a skill is a second thought, or let's just say is a plan B you need to have as a student. So if remind you what you're talking about in the library session is the skills that matters. It matters like some necessary skills that you should have that matters even when you graduate, that can still sustain you for some time, that can still carry you on for some months, years, and stuff like that. You get, so it's not assume that you're just out and you're kind of empty, like you're just going to face the world, and if light hits you hard, pap, you will just a kind of, I don't know. So that is why you need to uh pay very close attention. As I said, what we're all here to talk about is just about students and the possible ways they can grow. You have graphics, you're all talking about growth. All our tutorials, videos, and live streaming sessions is all about growth. So I saw here you're talking about growth. So relating it to what we have today, being that the possible skills that matters, that are relevant, that are necessary, that you ought to have as a student, even when you're in school and even when you're out from school, and it can still sustain you while you are out. Do you get it? So having the primary knowledge of what you're to talk about here will help you to relate to it. Okay, so that's for that. Okay, so let me shock you. We have see, this skill of a thing is not all about hard or handmade skill. Like, okay, if somebody hears about skills now, what comes to the person's mind is maybe all these hard soft skills. Let me just put the soft skills that you can just learn, maybe internet or whatever. That's not actually true. I'm here to tell you that we have three cadres, three stops, or let's say, I don't know, it's just three. That's just what I know. Skill is just three. Like, is a kind of being cut to three. Now we have, okay, let me start with the first one, which is personal skills. This foundation skill. Now personal skills can be a kind of, now this personal skill is not a kind of something you learn, although you learn it as well, but it's more of innate something, something you have within you, something you can develop. It's just like a kind of attitude or whatever. So you is an innate something, your personal skill. Remember, I'm talking about skill here, skills that matter. Now this personal skills also matters. It's not, okay, the personal skills, let me just a kind of brief it. It can be maybe your personal skills, maybe can one, it can be your conversation, like how you converse with people. I don't know, it's just how you talk, like the ability for you to communicate effectively and efficiently, a kind of that. So it can be seen as a personal skill. You ought to have it as well. And having a personal skills can also help you not not only being, like, not only to communicate effectively, it in some areas as well it can help you. So personal skill is involved. That's number one skill. Now this personal skill is where you have uh the ability of you, like just like you having some habits. Let me just put it, this personal skill is more like habits. Personal skill is more like habit. It's more like what you can do, a kind of what you always display, your attitude, how you react to situations, how you handle issues, how you handle pressures, and how you can, how you just handle situations. It's just like that. It's just a primary knowledge of what you need to know about personal skill. So it's just like your innate something, something that relates to you. This one now you don't need to pay online to learn it. This one now can be a kind of environment fit teach you this one, or where you stay, where you live, where you base can as well inculcate this kind of skill to you, like based on what you say and what you listen to, stuff like that. So and how you behave as well. So like it's more like personal skill. You get, so as I said, we are talking about, don't forget our topic. the skills that matters after school ends. So under that, we have a subheading that says personal skill. Now that personal skill is under the skill, gets under it as well. So it's a personal skill. Then the second one is practical skill. Now, okay, second one is practical skill and money skill. I don't know. Is the second one practical skill. Now this is where making money is involved. This is where making money is involved. Let me explain. Making money is involved here. Sorry. Making money is involved here by, now this is a skill that you can pay online to learn. This is a skill that you can pay somebody to learn. This is a skill that you can go to one workshop or stuff like that to go and sit for some months, weeks, and to learn. You get. Now that is why it's practical skill. You get. So if, okay, now we didn't even start it or gradually. If we say practical, you should know what it means by practical. Practical is more like acting, more like something like always doing a kind of that, something that is always working, a kind of that. So it's practical. It involve activities, actions, and the rest. So it's more like a skill that you ought to learn, stay some weeks and months to learn, and pay attention to somebody online to learn. Do you get? Now this skill can as well help you. Remember the first one was personal skill, being attitude, how you interact, because life is going to face, you're going to face life, and if you're not competent enough to handle some pressures, if you're not competent enough to withstand some things, it's going to look as if like I don't just know, but it's not going to just end well. That's just it. So you ought to possess, or let's say have all these skills. So the, you on the second one, which is practical skills and money skills, it can as well be seen as money opportunity because it's going to be fetching you money. Remember I said this is practical, you're going to be acting, working. Now if you have this type of skill, our topic today is more related to this second one, which is practical skills, because it's something that fetch you money. That is why we are here. That is why that is what we want to know, because is related to outside school and is related to life, because you're not going to come out. I don't just know how to fix that, but what I'm saying here is important, and that is the main where we are pointing at arrow on, being the practical skill, something that is going to be fetching money, that is going to be or making you to like do some skills that earns you a living. Do you get it? So this practical skill now is important, and as well it can help in the sense of by, okay, let me relate it to our topic. If, or let's just assume that you just graduated and you have, maybe you're a freelancer. Okay, you're a freelancer, because this practical skill has many branches. It's there is a lot of skills under these practical branches, or under this practical or skill there is a lot of branches. Now it can be a freelancing or something, it can be an awkward, it can be a writing skill, because it can be a ghostwriter or anything. It's just anything that you can do online or online, like it must not be online, or I don't know, but more of soft skills are being done online, more of soft skills are being done online. So the practical skill, that's the one you can learn, and that is the one that can sustain you for some time. It can sustain you for some time. That's what we're saying here. So if you're to learn it, it require you for of taking some breaks, or let's say some weeks to shops and some months or so, depending on the type of skill, because skills in this matter differ. You won't compare yourself, somebody that is learning how to, okay, now let me just say video editing, you won't compare a video editor with a freelancer, or somebody that is in coding. Is not the same. So a coding person is more like a website developer, so it's going to take most times years to learn. So you're not going to compare yourself with someone that's doing video editor that can take just 1 2 months to just get a kind of broad knowledge of it. So as I said, skills differs and it depends. So I'm not to say a kind of frame, or let's just say a fixed amount of months or years or even time it takes. So that's why the skills differs. All right. So That's for that. So this uh practical skill can help by you just assuming my whatever I'm saying here is just like and it's as is an illustration, so I'm not referring to a particular. I'm not directing it to you. So I'm just assuming somebody just graduated from a university, and it happens that the way the person plans it, the person planned it as, once I graduate, maybe the person has one big uncle like that is saying, don't worry, graduate, I'll be going to give you something, I'm going to pay you my company. And it happens that the uncle dies, let's say while the person was still schooling. Okay, now the person now graduates. Now remember, the person's home is classed like, I don't know, is being shifted, the kind of that, like the person now is a kind of having double mindset, like it's not now sure. It's just like, then if someone as a person, you'll be like, I'm not going to stress myself, moreover I have an uncle that is going to give me. But if that happens to his or her uncle, now that person is not going to have that mindset, because that uncle is no longer there, is no longer in the position, and the possibility of the person getting that thing now is not even like, it's just zero. Do you get it now? So the person, if the person has what's it called, if the person has sorry if the person has a practical skill, now in this kind of situation, you're not going to be stuck. You can actually start up something. If it's a practical skill that requires money to a kind of start it up, before then you should have a very good knowledge of it, and starting it up won't be a problem. Like, starting it up is going to be a kind of an easy stuff. Do you get it? So if you're to start it up, then like it's going to be a kind of not too difficult, now. But if you don't have this kind of soft skills, or let's say practical skill, now when you're and this kind of thing happen, you're going to be a kind of, let me not say frustrated, let me just a bit stuck. Do you get? And this a bit struck or stuck sometimes can result to a bigger stroke, a stop as well, in sense of whereby you're actually waiting for, you're just stuck, or when you're out and you're waiting for maybe job or whatever, and another thing still happen on top when you were still waiting. While you were still waiting, now it costs you more harm. Do you get? So it's still going to result more, or more conflict and stuff like that. So it's not, it's advisable as a student, why why you're still school, or why you're still in school, why you're still schooling, even as a secondary student, why you are from secondary school and maybe planning to enter university, you should have a knowledge of some primary things you need to know. And these primary things will help you even while still schooling. In our previous live streaming section, I mentioned a lot of things, like we talked about life after school. Yes, we talked about life after school, and we touched a lot of things. It has to do with friends, and the way some people live in the university, and the proper way they should. Okay, and we still mentioned this saying that school is scam. We followed it serially, and we like we unveil the course, a kind of, like we follow this serially, then we now open up what costs school is scam. That saying now, we now open it up, because those things we mentioned there is what actually costs it. And we mentioned over there that most people saying this, don't be shocked, most of them are graduates, people that have spent some years in school. And if they are saying it now, the people that were not opportunity will be like, this is true, because them that went there is saying it. We that is even like ignorance, why wouldn't we believe? Do you get it now? And this can be as a result of them not actually utilizing their time while still school, by uh, not actually doing some things while they were still in school. Now they are out expecting the whole world to just a kind of put in place, like should just fit itself, like that everything should just fit itself. Most of the time it doesn't work that way, and when it fails to work out that way, now life hits them, and they are actually going to be stuck, frustrated, and start looking for somebody to blame. And that's when, now if they now if they if they are opportune to see some people, or some, or some of their old friends that didn't attend uni, and those people are doing better than them, they will now look, they will now start seeing it as they wasted their time and money, energy, resources, all of their days in uni doing nothing, and now it now looks as if that saying is true. That's actually wrong. So sorry, we diverted from our topic, but I just try explaining some few things that we talked about on our live stream, so you can check it out. That's cool. Alright, so you're on the second, which is the practical skill. Money. I think I've explained some things. I explained some things. So the last one is life skill, survive and growth skill. Life skill can survive you, like it's just like growth skill, and I say some things about that. It can give you a living, whereby you actually studied something, I don't know, let's just you study something, and it happens that things didn't work out the way, uh this topic is broad. I'm still coming, it's broad. Let's just finish this explanation for the last, or for the number three. Life skill survives. Okay, life skill survive. It can survive in the sense of you, your art, as I said earlier, your art, and your, maybe you're surviving, or you're self-employed, or you're just coping up with the skill that you were able to learn while you were still in school, or uh, some knowledge that you were able to learn online and stuff like that. You now start implementing them. Just whatever you are doing outside your certificate, like maybe something that you were opportune to get the knowledge during university. Alright, so that is just what this third one is talking about. It can give you a living, it can survive you. And let me shock you. Majority of people, majority of people that are graduates, most of them are being survived by not only certificate. Let's just say, assuming, oh, before you now take this serious, I'm just assuming. So it cannot, I don't know, let me not say it's fact, it's a kind of small fact as well. So assuming in 2020 100 students graduated from a particular university. Now let me shock you. Do you know that not up to 50 of that set that is going to be opportunity to start working? Okay, now have you take a look at, like, if you're just sit in your department, I don't know any school you're into, just sit in your school and just picture the whole department in your school, or let's just say your college alone. I don't know, college, I think it's a broad, or some people you call it faculty, or it depends. So it can be college, it can be college or faculty. So just picture a kind of try analyzing the number of students that are there, and bring it to Nigerian employment rates, like Nigerian employment and unemployment rate. Do you think that up to half of them are going to be employed? It's not a cause, it's not a kind of bad works, but this is a kind of picturing something. You're using the current state, or less of the current rate of unemployment you have in our country today, now to a kind of compare what something like that should look like. Do you get it now? So this is how you compare it. Now if we're able to picture or think that up to half is not going to be a kind of employed, now what if those people that are not going to be opportune to be employed, they are not, like, they don't have anything, they are just handicapped, like they just enter into the university wasted. Okay, now let me not say wasted, actually they studied, yeah, they did something, and they came out with a good grade, but the truth of the matter is they were not opportune to have a good skill that can pay them. Now they're actually going to be stuck. Doesn't mean that that number of people are actually going to be stuck. Like, just take a look at it, is a kind of frustrating. Like, you're going to start seeing yourself, so I wasted this money, time, energy, and all of this thing, I'm doing nothing. Do you see it? So if the matter of getting something doing in school is not, it cannot be overemphasized. Like, it's something that needs to be talked about. Like, I don't know, but it's very very important, and students need to hear this, students need to know it, and they need to start acting on it. So that is just it. They are to start doing something, because if this type of if this number of people are out in the society and they are not doing anything, how will the society start seeing them? Like, how will, I don't just know, how will their relative, everything, it's just like people that are, their parents are expected, like something is being expected from them. Just like while you were still in school, you have some other siblings that they are still training them as well with you. Now you've graduated and they are expecting you to start working, maybe to help them and train other your siblings, and you just graduated, and there is no, okay, it happens that life hits you hard, you're not opportune to get any work, and you're just staying. Now, okay, let me still share a clip. There's this clip that I watched of a student when he was a male guy, so just a guy, when he was still in school, he was calling popsy, this one send me money, they will just send. The other day he called, they also send. Now it happens that the guy graduated from the university. They showed a clip of the guy when he was coming back, like when he was returning home, and the guy was just laughing, everybody welcomed him, welcome graduates, you're welcome. Now the guy relaxed, everything was cool. The next day, the guy requested money to buy something, I don't know, they pushed him out. Somebody that they welcomed, was it the day before yesterday or whatever, but they welcomed the guy. Now when he asked for money after he has graduated, he was pushed out to go and hustle, to go and start up. Like, have you seen it? So you're not expected. And the one that will shock you most is that your parent that is giving you something now, it will shock you that when you graduate, even if they are still going to continue, the rate is not going to be that rate again, because they will start seeing you from another angle. They are, sorry, they will start assuming that you are an adult, and which you are, you cannot deny the fact. So you're expected to be getting something, like some things are expected of you, like some contributions, like some things. Not even your parent, community, people around you, they will start expecting to get some things from you, because you're a graduate, and it's a kind of, you want to start working. Now if you're not opportune, now it's not your fault. Now when you were not opportune to start working, like when you're not opportune to get a job, and you're going to stay, and you don't have maybe you have a practical skill, as I said here, a practical skill which can as well be referred as a skill, like as a soft skill, yes, which can be referred as a soft skill to sustain or to get some money to be doing, and you're always sleeping the whole day, they are going to see as a failure. Like literally, that just it they are not even interested if you're the cause of your unemployment or anything. They are going to start seeing you as a failure, and which is not always right, which is not always uh, good. Like, nobody will love to be in that kind of position. So to to resist this, or to minimize these courses, so students are told, or let's say are being advised to get to know the right things they should do, get to start taking some relevant steps they should start taking, get to start involving themselves in some certain things they should, even while schooling, like even while they are school is still schooling. So and some people, I don't know, some people may think or ask, if a student start doing all of this, is it not going to detract the person from maybe the primary goal, which is to study? I'm coming to that. That's not, I don't know, but I'm just going to answer this plainly. Like, I don't know, it's not going to be either the both side. It's just going to be straight. So straight in the sense of, you know, schools, I don't know, some schools I believe has what's it called, has time for lectures and stuff like that. So you're not going to be lecturing the whole day. Like, I don't know, even if it's theology that you're studying. There's no way you're going to be uh in the class from morning to night. Not possible. Even if you're studying messages, that's not possible. The truth of the matter is that in university time, it's just like a golden period. Let's say golden time. University days is actually a golden period. I will explain this. It's a golden period, unlike secondary school and primary school. Alright, what I'm trying to say here is when you're in a university, you have more opportunity. There is a lot of opportunity. One is that you have an opportunity to meet a brother people, maybe let me not say brother people, more people. Let me just use simple words, more people. You have an opportunity to learn some new things, and you as well have an opportunity to get to start doing some thing that you feel that, like, something that you overlooked maybe while you were still with your mom or dad, kind of that. Now there is a lot of opportunities in the university. Now when you ignore all of this opportunity and you're focusing on studying alone, I'm not saying that studying is bad, you get. So when you ignore all of these opportunities and you're focusing on studying alone, it's really going to affect, is going to affect, you're going to be balancing it up. Sorry, you're going to be balancing it up. So what I mean here is you're not going to be taking your studies is the primary. Okay, sorry, studying and making good grades is the an average student now. To make mama proud and daddy proud, that's the primary goal. That is what you have in mind when that's the primary assignment, why you're there to study and get a good grades and get out from that university. Now saying uh some necessary things that students should know or start doing while they're still in school, that doesn't mean that you're going to ignore your study. That doesn't mean that you're going to stop studying. Do you get it? As I said, there is, I believe that schools has, that is why it's advisable for students, if they are to do any of this that I've been mentioning here, soft skills can like soft skills can be a better one. Soft skills can uh fit this well. Now soft skills I mean here is that you must not work hard, like you must not sweat to actually do the soft skills I'm saying here. You must not remove your clothes and sweat. Like soft skills you can actually do like anywhere. That is why it's soft skills, and that is why students can easily go with it. Do you get it now? So free times, it's just like somebody that is learning a physical something, maybe terrorist stuff or something like that. Now maybe a fellow student is teaching you, you have this particular place around your lodge or whatever, like you can actually balance this. Or maybe after your lecture period you're going to be attending that place, although there should be a kind of a reach agreement already before then. And because this you're a student, you're not going to be leaving your lectures to learn a skill. Do you get it now? This is for people that are learning, maybe, as I said, tailoring, like something that is around this tailoring side, like something that requires, I don't know, just something of that nature. So, and we as well have a lot of soft skills that you can actually do from your comfortable zone, like from your home. Now these are soft skills, I'm just going to be mentioning brief here. I'm just going to be mentioning brief here. And mind you, if you're to learn it, you're actually going to learn it. So that is it. You're not going to boast or be proud that you have a soft skill that you cannot actually do well. It's not going to fetch you money. That is another thing that people are not getting. Now, having a skill does not still guarantee you, like, is the question is, can you do that thing very well? It's just the best. Like, people are going to be looking out for the best. It's just like It's just like you now. Okay, now let me give this thing. It's just like you graduating from university, making a first class. That's cool, very cool. Making a first class is very cool that every student will wish or admire or whatever. So you're out. You're at the okay, I don't know. Let me just leave the story. But what I'm saying here, okay, let me just continue with what I'm saying. And you happen to make a first class of results and you're out from a university and you got a work, you got a job, and that job requires, oh, let's say, a practical skill that has to do with computer. Remind you, you're the first class graduate, too. Nobody is dragging it with you now. And in that place of work, you also have a kind of, let's just say, if it's possible, let's say fifth class, somebody that's graduated actually but not with a good grade. Okay, now that person has a low knowledge of computer. You that graduated with first class, I can assure you that that person as well, okay, your results can actually bring you up once. It's just like once you're going to show it, you have first class, they're going to clap for you, and they're going to put you in a position. Now when you're capable of solving a problem, it's going to be a kind of perpetually something that is going to be always. So they are always going to be seeing you, like your rewards are always going to be coming. Just like for with the this illustration I was giving, somebody that had a very low degree and graduated from a university, and somebody that had a first class working in a particular company. You show the manager of the company you had the first class, he claps for you, you are a good student, you made papa and mama proud, and he positioned you in a place that actually fits that your result or that your degree. Now the person that had a low degree was actually also fixed where he or she or is meant to be. Now there is problem came up. You were to do something on computer store. I'm just giving an illustration. Now you don't have this practical skill, like you don't have the knowledge of computer and problem solving ability. You're just with your big let me not say big surgery, I don't know, I don't look like I'm kind of trying to you get to first class people, and that's not what I'm saying here. So I'm just giving an illustration. So it can sound, I don't know, it can sound anyhow now, but that's just get the direction I'm trying to drive to. All right, so it happens you don't have some necessary skill, you don't have confidence skill, you don't have problem solving skill, you don't have a good communication skill, like you don't you don't have good as you're just with your very big certificate. Let me shock you, that person that have a low skill, if that person is opportune to possess all this skill, that person is going to be more relevant than you that has a first class in that particular company. And don't be surprised, that person might even be paid, like he may even be paid more than you. That's just it. What people are not, what some students don't know is that school gives you certificates and it doesn't prepare you. Most times, let me not say sometimes, it prepares, but most times it doesn't prepare you for life. That's just it. It prepares you academically by rewarding you with a certificate. Then life, if you don't have, if you're not able to learn life by yourself, it might not end well. That is just factual. That is just it. So you're going to be getting to know some things. And nowadays, uh employers, or let's just say people that own some organizations, they are not even interested anymore in your certificate. What they are just interested in is your solving problem ability, what you can do, what you can offer, the value that you can give to the organization that will enable it go, like obtain their objective, like compete with other companies, compete with other companies across the globe. You get, so they are just interested what you can offer. Now let me shock you, even in some interviews your grades are going to be a kind of be ignored. what can you offer, like what ability, what problem can you solve, what value can you render to this. Sorry guys, all right so all right so I think that if you're not competent, if you're not if you're not competent enough to those question, or like if you're not competent enough with some with the practical skills that you possess, do you get it? So it's going to really not end well with that, like in you obtaining such position. Do you get it? So that is why it's best to get to know some skills, some necessary abilities that you ought to emulate in order to also help you while you're out from school. Because if you're a student and you're just hoping on your certificate alone, it can be risky, like proven it can be risky. So that is why, like, it can be very very risky. It's not always advisable. I'm not trying to scare you, I'm just trying to open your eyes and get to prepare you. So if you're not well prepared to face uh what is awaiting, or let's just, if you're not well prepared to just uh something independently, is not going to end well. All right, so that being saying that, so okay, let me just mention something. Like, I have something that I penned down. I have something that I penned down. Okay, a good future. Okay, for a student, as I said, it's mostly for students. For a good future for a student is just like a student that is ready to learn and relearn. Do you get it? So a good future comes to some students, the student that is able to learn, they are able to relearn and unlearn. Now let me explain this. Let me just a kind of try explaining this. Now what I mean by learning is just like you getting to know some, pay attention to some things, get some knowledge about something. That is learning. Like, you getting to important to learn it. This can, the side of relearning, the area of relearning is just like you getting to relearn some things, like just like you learning about something. Network is bad. Network is bad. So something about relearning. Now, I said something about learning. Now, relearning is more like you relearning some things, like leaving, or let's all just say dropping outdated something to relearn new ones. It's just like learning a new, okay, yeah, like let's just say for instance, they taught you how to uh let's just say cook with some certain thing. Now, relearning is just like you or trying to do those things with updated things, like trying to get rid of outdated something on that particular thing, on that, on still that particular thing. You get it? That so it's just like relearning relearning something